On the 8th of May, we are having national and provincial elections. And because we are having national and provincial elections, a person who will be coming to vote will be issued with a ballot paper representing the national elections and the other one representing the provincial elections. But the starting point is that when a person arrives at the voting station, naturally every voting station will have the security people who will make sure that there is order at the voting station. But everything that happens at the voting station is under the jurisdiction of the presiding officer. So even though you've got the security people outside, they will not interfere with the voting process. They are only there to make sure that when the presiding officer requires their assistance, they are able to assist the presiding officer to be able to deal with any situation, particularly if there is a disruption or anything of that nature. And immediately when a person arrives there, will be met by a queue worker. That queue worker is a person who is actually going to lead that particular person to the relevant station so that there is no confusion within the voting station. So a voter does not have to worry about anything by coming to the voting station. They will be led to each and every step, through each and every step that they've got to go through. So a queue worker will take that person to a voter's roll officer. The voter's roll officer's responsibility is to ensure that only eligible voters are able to participate in the electoral process. So they're going to check if the name of a voter appears on the voter's roll. And it is important for me to mention this, that most of the time the voter's roll officer will be working with someone who is carrying what we call a zip machine. Now, a zip machine is important in terms of also checking the details of the voter, whether that voter is there on the voter's roll, and to be able to make sure that particular person is able to participate in the elections. But it is not a prerequisite. So if the scanner or a zip machine does not work, a voter should not actually panic because there are mechanisms that have been put in place to make sure that that aspect is taken care of. So the important thing is that you've got to appear on the voter's roll. Once your name appears there on the voter's roll, they're going to scratch it out to make sure that you do not actually vote again, and they can be able to see that a voter has actually already participated in the process. A voter will then go to an Enka. An Enka will make sure that they put an ink on the voter so that a voter cannot actually come again. They cannot go to any other voting station and pretend to be voting for the first time. After an Enka, they go to the ballot paper issuer. The ballot paper issuer will then issue them with a ballot. So because it's national and provincial elections, there'll be two ballots that will be issued to a voter. These two ballots, one will be representing national elections and the other one will be representing a provincial election. After that, those ballots that are given to the voter, they also are stamped to make sure that, again, they are valid. Ballot paper that does not have a stamp, because a stamp is a security measure, is not valid. So the ballot paper issuer will therefore issue the ballot papers that are stamped. And then from there, a voter will then be taken to the ballot booth. At the ballot booth, that's where now, in the secrecy of the ballot booth, a voter then can be able to cast a vote in the relevant section for a political party that they want to vote for. From there, again, a voter is going to be led to now an area where they are going to deposit the ballot papers in the relevant ballot boxes. The first ballot box would be either a provincial election or a national election, but they will be indicated And then again, a person who's going to be assisting will be there to make sure that they put the relevant paper into the relevant ballot box. So you have two boxes, one representing the national election, another one representing the provincial election. And a voter has got two ballots, one representing the national election and one representing the provincial election. And then they are then deposited in their relevant ballot boxes. From there, a voter then leaves and is led out of the voting station. So the voting has happened at that stage, and all other things that are remaining will be the responsibility of the officials of the elections.